What's going on, YouTube? Here's your boy AJ. I'm here with a ban list video. I'm gonna be here kind of discussing cards that I think should come off the ban list or that I think that need to be hit. All right, so a few announcements before I get started. I'm going to talk about what this channel is going to be really moving forward. I'm going to talk a lot about deck list. I'm going to review the game in a more competitive aspect. I'm going to try and upload more often. I'm going to shoot for once a day, if not once every 2 days. We're going to talk about deck lists, tournament reviews, deck breakdowns, hopefully eventually get to player interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, just I'm here to kind of grow this channel. If you guys like what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button and like the videos. Also, share the videos with your friends and on your sites as well. And yeah, I'm going to try to enter more events coming up. I'm going to a lot more locals, whether that be remote or in person. I'm going to try to enter the LCS this weekend, but I need to handle a few things and see where I am in my deck, for instance, and make sure I get some cards online and test a little bit beforehand before I make that decision. I'll probably know later tonight whether I'm going to enter that event or not. So I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. If I do enter, I will also have a deck list. I'm gonna try to have an event breakdown after the fact. I watch those like every single time, so I can kind of review um, those events post and like my thoughts on them. I'm gonna try to enter the extravaganza the next weekend and also the remote YCS as well. But without further ado, I'm going to start with my ban list discussion. So the first deck that I'm gonna probably talk about right now is going to be Dragon Link. This deck has been around for a long, long time, and I think everyone in the community can kind of agree that the deck needs to kind of get hit. So my thoughts on that, the deck, the cards I think need to go on that would include Striker Dragon 2/1 and LP Ban. I think those two cards would limit the consistency and the playability of the deck, but one outright kill it. I also have on my list to put Quick Launch to 1 as well. I feel like that will help with the consistency. And if a card like E teleports at 1, I think Quick Launch needs to be at 1 as well. Next, I'm going to talk about Tri Brigade. Tri Brigade's been seeing a huge resurgence with new support out of the new set, and the deck is really, really good. Arguably, I think it could be the best deck of the format. So I think there needs to be some kind of hit on the deck. I don't know how to really do that. I think my thoughts would be Tinky to 1 because it's a searcher, and possibly Revolt to 1 or Fractal, some kind of hit, maybe to 1 or 2, but it's really hard kind of hitting that deck. I know the OCG put Dryden ban, but I feel like that hurts Pure more, and I can see them banning Dryden on our end as well because it is really good, but I just don't know. The deck's really hard to kind of do. Next on my list would be all the invoked Dogmatica decks. I think Nadir Servant needs to go to 1. I feel like that would hurt the consistency of the deck. And a lot of those decks are not even running like they're running like a bare minimum of Shaddoll monsters, and they pretty much just splash Winda out, and it's like a win condition, and it's like Winda is like a almost an unfair floodgate, and with this current iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just think that it's just hard for most decks to kind of play around that. So I think that needs to be addressed somehow. So I think Nadir Servant to 1 will actually help with that. Next on my list, this one was kind of hard because I don't know how to kind of go about hurting this deck's consistency in order to not have it run rampant in the next format. And that deck is Prank Kids, because you can't. I thought about it and I was like, okay, so if you ban Pandemonium, you're not really accomplishing anything. So I maybe Doodle to 1 or something. I don't know. The deck is so hard. I don't know what to hit on that deck. Like, what could you hit on the deck to slow it down a little bit? I don't know. A lot of the little the baby Prank Kids pretty much all do the exact same thing. So like it's really, really, really tough to kind of like hit that deck. Another deck on my list I have is Dinosaurs, because the deck has been around for a long time at this point, and I think it needs to kind of get hit somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it needs to get hit. My opinion, I think should either be limited or banned. And I think Fossil Dig should go to 1. I think if you do those two things, I think the deck's consistency would go down and people might not play it as much. It's weird because that deck will like fall out of favor in the format, and then someone will pilot the deck and then win the event because no one's ready for dinosaurs, and dinosaurs can just break boards very, very easily. So I think that deck needs to be addressed on the next ban list. I think Konami, two decks I think they really need to address, and that's Dragon and Dinosaur. Like honestly, like they could just address those decks and leave everything else alone, and I probably would be okay. Even though I don't think it'd be the greatest because you probably would have like Tri Brigade and Prank Kids running rampant, and it wouldn't be fun for most of us. But if those two decks definitely need to be addressed on the next list. Some two controversial things. One, Troll and Lockbird. So Troll and Lockbird against decks that search a ton is pretty much an insane floodgate. So in my personal opinion, I think if they're gonna not do anything to Droll, we need to get either Called by the Grave back or something. Like we're supposed to get Cross-Out Designator for a long time now, and it doesn't even look like it's on the horizon at all. I don't know what set it could possibly be coming in. Maybe it's going to be like a promo in the tens or something like that to kind of push the tens. But if we're not getting Cross-Out Designator anytime soon, I think Called by the Grave needs to come back to like 3 because like Droll and Lockbird, I mean, Droll and Lockbird, Lancet, cards like that are just like, dude, it's just like it's not even a fair. It's not fair when your whole deck is built around that. I'm not even a Drytron player right now, so I just can't. Like, they resolve Droll against you. You're pretty much like skipping your whole turn. If you play against Tri Brigade and you resolve Lancia, you pretty much skip your turn. And you play against Dinosaur Lancia, you skip your turn. Like I don't like cards like that. I think if you're gonna play those kind of cards, like you need some kind of way to fight back against it. That being said, as far as Drytron is concerned, maybe bringing back Benton at 2. That's gonna probably people are gonna be mad about that one, but Benton at 1 is kind of weird. I mean, you can search it, but I mean, Drytron, like we got the watered down version of it with what's it called, Mew Fafnir or whatever, the new Link. They just came out of the set. Like the OCG had like crazy, the OCG, and like we don't even get like the full Drytron experience. I know people don't want that, but I mean, at least give them something like a fighting chance. Like it's already bad enough you have Droll and Lockbird. Like give them some kind of way to be powerful. But that's just my personal opinion. All right, a few cards I think should come back. Starting with number 1. If you guys don't know this about me, but I love Sky Striker. So the card I would love to come back would be Engaged to 1. I don't think it should come back at 3. Don't get me wrong. I played the deck for like 2 years consistently. I don't think the Engage should come back to 1 or a 3, but 1 would be fine. I also think if it does come back to 1, we need to do something with Hornet Drones. They can ban Hornet Drones and pick a Gari to 1 and kind of make Engage more of an engine or like a deck within itself. Don't use like the striker cards as a engine within itself. I think that would help a lot. Next, I have Harp Horror going to 1. The thing about Harp Horror is a little different because you only need 1 necessarily because you can just recycle it over and over again. But Orcus is not in the format at all, and I think adding Orcus to the mix would actually help Orcus like come to like meta relevance because right now it's so rogue that it's almost unplayable at times, and I think that would actually help. Another card on my list would be Electromite to 1 because pendulums are just non-existent, and it's kind of weird that we had a whole pendulum era in Yu-Gi-Oh that now they're like not even around. Like we have all these other archetypes, like we have rituals in the format, we have Link in the format, we have like an XYZ strategy, with like Zeus being a thing, but we don't have pendulums at all. And like I feel like pendulums have gotten like the shaft by Konami, so I think Electromite going to 1 would actually help them out a lot. I would love to see that actually. A few more cards. I think this is going to be kind of a controversial one as well. So I think that the Dragon Rulers can all come back to 1. I've been watching a lot of old school Yu-Gi-Oh in my free time when I'm not looking at the current format, and I feel like the Dragon Rulers can probably be okay at 1. Like we can test them out at 1. I think honestly they'd be fine. Personally, I think it would give a little spice to everything. I think if you hit Dragon Link, then I think the Dragon Rulers would come back and it'd be completely okay. I have no fear on that. I'm also the next card choice I'm kind of biased on. I think that Zen Mighty should come to 1. I don't get why that card is banned at this point. It's kind of crazy. Bring it to 1, see how it does. If it doesn't do anything, put it at 3. Another card that I saw, I was just looking at the list before I made this video, is Gateway. I think is at one, and I was like, why is Gateway at one when Samurais aren't doing anything? And like they can put up what, one negation or something. Like decks are putting up multiple negates, multiple spins, multiple bounces, and like one Shien is fine. Like bring Gateway back, to three. It's ridiculous. Last but not least, this is a kind of what I want to see, but the danger cards can come back. Nessie, Jackalope, um, what's the other one? The snake one. They can all come back to two. I think they were really good at two. I think three might have been too much, but two would be perfect because those cards can be used as an engine too to help facilitate other combo decks. And I think at one they're like unplayable, and they were only around for what, a short amount of time before Konami kind of just hit them. But I think that's all I pretty much have from my ban list, guys, for the most part. Let me guys know what you guys think about what you think should be on the ban list, and stay on the lookout for upcoming videos. I should have a video coming out either tonight or tomorrow. Kind of just a video of me just playing a little bit on Dueling Book and doing some commentary. I'm also going to probably try to do some coverage for the LCS this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. But if you do like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button at the bottom, and please share this video and leave a comment below. Thanks, guys.